My name is Nikki Wilkinson, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how to manage stress, but managing stress through the 7 habits of highly effective students. Our students at our school have been able to come and interview and tell you just a little bit about the 7 habits and how they have used the 7 habits to help manage their stress. Stress means a lot of different things to different people. Stress can be school, it can be work, it can be friends, it can be family. But right now, stress at our school is the same. Are we going to have a school next year? Our students, faculty, and community have been through a lot in the last couple of months. They continue to fight for our school and what it means to teacher education. Our students have been involved in petitions, professional emails to the president, provost, College of Education, Board of Education members, and legislators, as well as walks, talks, meetings, trips to the Capitol to meet with legislators, more emails, and posters. They have had ups and downs throughout this process, but they have remembered to keep the 7 habits in mind. We are being proactive, we are beginning with the end in mind, we are putting first things first, we are thinking win-win, and we are seeking first to understand, then to be understood. We are synergizing and sharpening the saw. High school students at Price Lab are going to help you understand what these habits mean and how they themselves have used these habits.
I think that our half of the win in this situation is us maintaining a positive attitude. Though it's been extremely tough for students, with the help of teachers, we've all been able to focus back on work that needs to be done and what lies ahead. It's hard for both students and teachers because we're all affected, but I feel that we've been able to create a closer bond and become more like a family through this whole situation, and that has really taught us to work together and to help each other and maintain a positive attitude through this situation. Another win during this whole situation as it's been taking place is the many experiences that we've been able to have, such as participating in protests and going down to the state capitol to talk with legislators. Those are things that I probably never would have done if it wouldn't be for this, and though it is sad to say, quite thankfully, I have been able to take part in such experiences.
I think win-win situation is the new adaptation of when somebody wins, I can also win. Not in order for myself to win, somebody has to lose. When we think about the school and the situation that we're put in, we can look at this and take some win-wins away from it. Right now, parents have been awesome, and we've been making groups on Facebook, and we've been making websites for everybody to be involved and for everybody to get information or give information out. That's win-win for the parents and the students. It's win-win for the community so that everybody stays involved and stays in touch. Also, it's win-win for us students right now in a way, because even though it's hard to go out and look at different schools, we deserve to do it for ourselves. We deserve to be prepared in case something happens. And so going out and looking at the schools is going to be good in the long run. It's strange, but it will be good. And, hopefully in the end, it'll all work out. Stress is a big part of this because everybody's feeling it and everybody knows its effects, but the teachers and the students right now have been really good about it. We understand what everybody's going through, what each other's going through, and so it makes it nice to be in an environment where everybody does understand.
We all found out about this the same way. We saw the headline in the paper, "Possible Closure to Price Lab School." When we first found out about this, we were all really angry and really sad, but then we thought for a second and we thought back to all the 7 habits we've been learning at our school, and we decided we'd be proactive. A friend of mine and I decided that we would write a petition. So we collaborated with some teachers and we put together a very professional petition, and we did it online so everyone could go online and sign it. And after we got it written, we put it up for people to sign, and as of now it has over 6,000 signatures. We decided to take a positive approach, and when we were all being interviewed and asked questions by all the news channels and the newspapers, we made sure to make it clear that this wasn't over and that we were going to fight till the end.
Communication is one of many important skills that you will need throughout your entire life. Since we were little, we've been learning to read books and write stories, but never have we learned the proper way of listening and making sure that we understand every angle of a conversation before speaking our own opinion. When wanting to portray habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. We want to be able to listen thoughtfully to everything being spoken while putting ourselves in the shoes of the ones talking. At NU, we've been working hard to exemplify the habits and learn the meaning and value behind each one.
One example of how I personally exercised this skill was by going down to the Capitol building on a day we didn't have school. Me and a bunch of other parents, students, and community members met with representatives and senators about our situation. I even had the chance to meet with the House Minority Leader. We wanted to make sure that if the decision came to them, they would be able to make an informed one. We wanted our voice to be heard. People needed to see that this decision would affect so many people. We wanted to provide them with facts and a chance to talk with us, the people who would actually be affected, before they voice their opinion. Throughout this time, a big obstacle has been the lack of known facts and understanding. We won't give up until we get all the information out with everyone so they can make their own well-informed decision.
Sharpen the saw is taking care of yourself when you're under a lot of stress. And when I first heard that our school was going to close, it created a lot of questions where am I going to go next year and what about my friends? Because it's since I just moved here, I don't really know that many people who go to other schools and stuff. So yeah, it created a lot of stress for me, and I had to know how to deal with it. And personally, for one of the ways to deal with stress for myself was to play soccer and take all my anger and frustration and stress out on the soccer ball and give it all I got, so that way when I was done, I would feel better and feel like I accomplished something. And yeah, I felt powerful.
We have 7 habits here at school. The habit I'm going to talk about is synergize. Synergize simply means that 2 heads are better than 1. It is teamwork, finding new ideas and new solutions. When I was told that our school was going to close, I knew I couldn't take this on my own. We would have to take the issue on as a school and community all together. Our teachers and students organized walks, organized a petition, such as taking a trip to the Capitol. The trip was very educational, and I'm very lucky that I had the chance to go.
At our school we have 7 habits, and one of the habits is called begin with the end in mind. Basically, the habit is saying that if you have an idea, you have to know what your finishing product is. At our school, an example of how we put begin with the end in mind in effect is how students always have a plan B. With our whole situation about our school being closed down, people are preparing for the worst, but also hoping for the best. So students are looking at other schools if NU closes down. We are fighting for Plan A, which is NU staying open, but we're also keeping Plan B in mind, which is going to another school the next year. For my Plan B, I have shadowed at Janesville and are looking at other schools like CF or Columbus. I'm also keeping in mind that the school I could be going to next year is NU.
With the news of our school closing, possibly closing, we were all a little shocked, but we still practice our habits. We still follow with what our first plan is, and one of our habits is putting first things first. And we're still keeping our priorities. We're still doing our homework. We're still keeping our grades up. And a lot of us signed up for spring sports still. We're looking at other schools, but the school we're currently going to is still our first priority, and we're showing that.
Putting first things first means making a choice. Everyone at NU has a Plan B, but our Plan A is still going strong. When students, faculties, and teachers learned the heartbreaking news about our school, no one became dramatic. None of us said, "Oh my gosh, our school's ending, what are we going to do?" We did the exact opposite. Our heads came together and we figured out, what is our second plan? What should we be doing? People today still have the fears of going to a new school, trying to fit in, but that's going behind us. We are still being strong, and we are trying our hardest to keep our heads up.
I definitely think that being proactive is keeping your options open, looking for the best in the situation and taking control of it. To be proactive, we have been looking at other schools. We have had parent-teacher conferences, and we've had a lot of notifications and stuff to keep everybody involved. Definitely, we have been not blaming anybody, but looking at this as a positive thing. What can we do to help? What can we do to make a difference? What can we do to control it? And I think that's important because it shows that we have the strength in our numbers at this school to keep going. Through everything, we have looked at the positive. We have taken the situation and turned it into something that makes us bigger and better.
In the end, we are striving to continuously implement these habits into our lives. Our students and teachers are doing a wonderful job. It does not mean that we don't feel stress, but having a way to face the stress in a productive and proactive way is much healthier for everyone. We continue to fight and hope for the best.